Hello everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the very first installment of
Bridging the Gap with Andy and Jeremy.
Bridging the Gap. Creative title, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is Bridging the Gap?
Bridging the Gap. What our goal is with this video series is to really offer both of our perspectives. We are both financial advisors. It's a very easy two words to say, but what is that? We offer different perspectives. We have a different lens. See these big glasses that Andy has to wear. We have different demographics. We serve different clients. So it's really, we found interesting even in our conversations. Sure. We get similar questions, and our answers might be different.
Yeah, hence Bridging the gap between the generations, addressing the same question, but the results of the question coming out a little bit differently depending upon which demographic that you're speaking with. Well, one of the things that we're hearing a lot, I know I'm hearing a tremendous amount with my clients, is the concern of what's going on right now with the market, with the economy, a lot of the uncertainty, the volatility. I will say it's more perceived volatility. I actually had a client the other day thought that the market was down so much this year when in fact it's up. So it's a lot of it's perception. But that's what we're hearing from our clients, and they'll simply ask during our annual review, Andy, what should we do? So I know how I answer it, but how do you answer that with your clients?
Number one, it's unique to everyone. It's nothing's cookie cutter, but
yep.
When you talk about your demographic, I work with accumulators, right? Usually they call it the younger professional, whatever that might mean. But when we're accumulating, oftentimes time horizon is long. What is time horizon? That's how long am I going to be able to invest this money before I might need it? What are my goals?
Sure.
So when I'm talking to a 34-year-old who has an IRA for their retirement, and that's still 30 years away, it's going to be a very different answer.
That hurts.
You have more time. Maybe we can be more aggressive because
the
market's going to fluctuate. So we can't control everything. You and I can't control the news or what's out there, but we control certain things. But I know your answer is different.
Yeah, my answer is very different because my clients are either within arm's length of retirement or maybe they've recently retired. And when they ask me that question, the one thing that I'll ask them immediately is, well, tell me, have your goals changed? Have you had any recent life events? A birth, God forbid, a death in the family, maybe we lost a job. But have there been any significant changes that might alter our financial plan? And if there are, well then we want to make adjustments. But other than that, I will tell them, let's stay the course. If no changes, if there's been no goal changes and no real significant life events that would require us altering the plan, stay the course.
And it's a phrase that we've all heard, right? And maybe even we roll our eyes when a financial advisor says it.
But we hear it on TV a lot.
I think what it proves, and you tell me, that means that you have the appropriate plan. We are accounting for these things to happen.
That's the important, Jeremy. That's the important point, is that when we meet with our clients, we're building in scenarios that we're experiencing right now. So, from the early 2000s and the dot-com burst, and from 2008 and the housing crisis, and then COVID, and then recently this war, we know that there are going to be certain stressors on the markets and the economy. So we built that into the portfolio. One thing we want to make sure is, while maybe your clients can weather the storm of the ups and downs of the market, my clients who are relying on their assets maybe to pay them in retirement, they can't. Yeah. So we put strategies in place to make sure that the market, however volatile it might be, will never affect their income.
And it's a really good point. And there's your two perspectives, right? When I tell a client, hey, this is kind of an advantage. When we see a dip, we're buying at a discount, right? We're able to continue the contributions at the same rate. And just get more, bang for our buck.
And that's it. And I can say to my clients, we expected this.
Exactly.
We're already built in. You're safe. And if people come to us, new clients, and they don't have an income plan, we'll put one in place for them so that they don't have to have any worries about what we're going through or what we're perceived to be going through right now.
And I think that wraps it up perfectly. That's showing two different perspectives on the same question. And again, the whole goal of this Bridging the Gap show or video series, we want to answer these questions. We think it's a great way to interact with our clients and to see our smiling faces.
Our smiling faces. So if you have any questions that you or topics that you want us to discuss, please feel free to reach out to either of us.